Just hours ago, KREM 2 hosted a debate between 5th Congressional District candidates Carmela Conroy and Michael Baumgartner. The candidates answered questions in an hour-long debate covering several issues impacting voters across eastern Washington. KREM 2's Christian Garza was on hand for the debate tonight. He joins us live in the studio tonight with the recap. Christian?
Yeah, this debate comes less than a week out from Election Day, and it marked the 6th time that they've debated each other. Now, they outlined how they would work with local tribes, push to improve the federal response to wildfires, and broker a new farm bill. Overall, this was a civil debate, but their differences were clear on a few key issues.
That intimate decisions about who we marry, when we marry, whether to start a family, and with whom we start a family have to be left up to us as individuals. That's part of the freedom that we are guaranteed by our Constitution.
Abortion isn't mentioned in the Constitution, and as such, it's an issue for the states. So I don't plan on when I go to Congress of being particularly active in the abortion discussions, because that's better dealt with at the local and state level.
I think that it is disingenuous for my opponent to say that he just wouldn't vote if the issue came up before the Congress. He's never trained as a lawyer. He apparently hasn't read the part of the Constitution that says in the 9th Amendment and 10th Amendment that there are privacy rights, there are rights reserved to individuals that are not mentioned in the Constitution, and also that rights that are not, powers that are not given to the federal government or to the state government are reserved to the people themselves.
We need more support for young families, things like the child tax credit and health care support, so that people can make the decision that is right for them. But again, on this issue, and we get asked about it a lot, I don't think abortion is a federal issue. It's a state and local issue, and I think that's where these decisions will rest.
Quickly, in just 15 seconds, please tell us, if a national abortion ban bill came to Congress, how would you vote on it, Ms. Conroy?
I would vote against a national abortion ban.
And Mr. Baumgartner?
Yeah, I would also vote against a national abortion ban.
While both candidates agreed they would have certified the 2020 election results, they had very different views on election integrity and what the best course of action would be to make sure people across the state trust the voting process.
It's important that we restore that trust. What I would like to see be done, if it could be done, was to return to same-day voting. I think that brings a tremendous amount of civic pride to folks, and people would have more trust than the current process. One thing that we should all do right now is show ID to get to vote. If you have to show ID to get into Costco or show ID to get an airplane, well, what's the most important thing you do in society is show ID to vote.
The citizens of Washington state have decided that they want to be able to vote by mail, that everybody gets to vote by mail. And so for my opponent to suggest that somehow the system's so broken that we have to return to the expense and inconvenience of bringing people together to vote, and that in order to do so, they're going to have to get an identification of a particular type. This is voter suppression.
This was only a small portion of things that were discussed, and the candidates answered over a dozen questions. However, this was the final debate before Election Day on November 5th, but both candidates say they will be campaigning until the very end. Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Christian, thank you very much. And for the full debate, just head on over to KREM 2 Plus. We also have an Elections Guide special streaming right now on KREM 2 Plus. Myself and Whitney Ward take a deep dive into what's on your November ballot, including the candidates, initiatives, and propositions. KREM 2 Plus is free to download on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. For more information on the general election, you can also just text us the word elections to 509-448-2000, and we'll send a link right to your phone with all the information you need to know.